Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If it's your first time here, then welcome. My name is Allie, and in today's video, I want to share with you 3 really easy and affordable DIYs for spring that I've been working on around our home lately. I've been slowly transitioning our home for spring, and if you've seen some of my previous videos, you've seen the spaces that I've created in our home. And I always find that it's the little touches that really make the biggest difference. Just adding in some things like soft florals and natural textures, just little tiny spring elements that really go a long way when you're decorating. Most of the materials that I'm using for today's DIY are things that I found in places like the Target dollar spot and in the spring sale section for Hobby Lobby. These are really inexpensive things that are so budget friendly. And I also used a lot of items that I already have in my home as well. So you might have a lot of these items on hand too. And even if you don't have the same items that I have, I bet that you have something around your home that you can use, and maybe this video will spark an idea. But mainly everything in this video is very budget friendly and easy to recreate. These DIYs are very simple, they don't take a lot of time, and they're really just meant to make your home feel a little bit more cozy for the season of spring. So I'll be walking you through step by step these 3 easy DIYs that you can use in your home to create that soft seasonal feel. So without further ado, let's get into the video. Okay, so for this first DIY, I wanted to start with a front door wreath because the front door really just sets the tone for the entire home. I knew I wanted to bring in some tulips, so I have 2 different styles here. I have that first style, and then I have this second style, which is a little bit more looser, and I'm going to play around with both of them, and we'll see where we land. I also grabbed about 3 of these little eucalyptus sprigs from Hobby Lobby just so I could fill in some gaps and add some natural softness. And then I'm going to sprinkle in some of this baby's breath, this spray in this beautiful beige color. And then some little daisies. I love these mini little daisies. These just really scream spring to me. I'm adding in some natural color eggs because I really like that organic touch. I'm adding in a ribbon. And then I'm just using my glue gun and some wreath wire and some floral wire. You can use whatever wiring you have on hand, of course. This is just what I was working with. And I had my set of pliers nearby as well as some scissors so I could just cut things nice and easy. So to start, I'm beginning to just place the tulips to just see where I might want them to lay on the wreath. And this is that first bunch. So the tulips are really pretty. They're a little bit more closed. So I'm leaving some space also here in the center, which I'm showing you because that's where I'm planning on placing a nice burlap bow. So now that I have these laid out, I'm bringing in the second batch, which again is like that more looser batch. And I kind of like the green in this color. So the first thing I did here was I tried to mix them in just to give the wreath a more fuller look and to see how I liked them being mixed in with the regular color tulips. And while it did look nice, I ultimately decided that I just liked the looser ones better. It's a little bit more of a sparser look, but I think it just brings more of that natural, fresh feeling, and I love the beauty of the openness of those tulips. So now I'm going to get started making my ribbon. So the first thing I'm doing is I'm taking a nice little stretch of ribbon here, and this is going to be the size of one of my ribbon tails. So I'm just going to fold that in half so that I have 2 ribbon tails. So I'm just opening up to the length of that first one, and I'm just going to cut this. So now I have what will become my 2 ribbon tails. Now I'm taking the rest of the ribbon, and I'm just going to start making loops like this, and then cinching them with my fingers. So these are going to be the loops of the ribbon, and you can really go as big as you like here or as small. I always like to make about 6 to 8 loops, and that to me is just a good size, and I find that you can just stop, play around, sort of place it on the wreath as you go and see when you're feeling like it's a good enough size. But just making sure that you keep it cinched the entire way, because as you'll see in just a minute, we're going to secure it together. Now that I'm happy with the size of my ribbon, I'm just going to snip off the excess, and then I'm going to fasten it together using my wreath wire. You can really use anything here, even if you have a pipe cleaner on hand, because as you'll see, we're going to be hiding it. You're not even really going to see it. So now I'm taking those ribbon tails, that one longer strip that's folded in half, I'm tucking that under, and then I'm going to take my wreath wire and wrap it around the entire thing. So now I have all my loops cinched along with that ribbon tail. And I feel like it's the perfect size. So now I'm going to set that aside until I'm ready for it later, and I'm going to start securing all of those stems into the wreath. I'm just using a glue gun here. I'm not using anything fancy. I'm not getting too worried about the exact placement of everything because I like when it looks imperfect. It definitely gives it that more natural feel, and it also helps to not stress me out when I'm working on these projects, just knowing that I have a lot of wiggle room to just let things be. I just had this conversation with my son because he was looking at one of his plushies and he was focusing a little bit on the imperfections of it. So I taught him about wabi sabi and how things are actually better when they're imperfect. It gives things so much character and really just makes it your own. So as you can see, I cut a little bit more of that floral wire, wrapped it around the center of my bow, and then flipped my wreath over so that I can secure the ribbon to the wreath. And I'm already loving the colors here. I love how it's coming together. I think it just feels so fresh and natural. So I'm just starting to fluff up the little ribbon loops, and I'll really get to that more when I hang it on the door, but I just wanted to, again, get a feel for what this is all going to look like. I grabbed my eucalyptus picks and I'm doing the same thing here. I'm just sort of placing them first and seeing where I like them so that I can go back later with my glue gun and secure everything in place. And now I'm going to fill in any gaps with these smaller little floral pieces. So I'm just going to use my clippers, clip off some of these little sprigs, and do the same thing. Just sort of glue them in where I feel like it needs a little pop of something. Now it's time for me to attach the eggs. So I noticed on the bottom of these eggs, they had a little hole. So I grabbed my floral wire and I decided to just sort of press those into the eggs. And then just to make sure that they stayed secure, I'm going to glue right around the base of where it's connected. And now I'm just going to do the same thing here. I'm just going to attach them with that floral wire to the wreath in all sorts of different places. And as you'll see, I'm sort of sprinkling different colors all around the wreath so that it has a little bit more of a variety, but keeps consistent with the eggs every few inches or so. I love mixing in natural elements like the neutral Easter eggs because I think it gives that subtle seasonal touch without feeling overdone. And a wreath is such an easy way to update your home without doing too much. So now it's time to go hang this on the front door. Tell me and be honest. Tell me, should I've known that you'd believe in me? So painfully quiet and slow. I try my best to move on, to let go. For DIY number 2, I really wanted that quiet, intentional, almost storybook feel, and I think this might be my favorite little moment. I love using a cloche because it instantly makes anything feel a little bit more special and styled. So for this one, I grabbed my glass cloche and then I have this piece of floral foam. I grabbed this little 4-pack of bunnies, which is so sweet. I'm going to use only one for this one, and I found those at Target in the dollar spot. I grabbed those mini nests, a few of those mini eggs, and then I grabbed these tulips also from the Target dollar spot. I'm going to be using some moss to give it that soft organic feel. I have this lavender spray that I'll be breaking apart, as well as these little baby's breath sprigs. I have my glue gun and I have my pliers. So to begin, I'm going to take that piece of floral foam. You can use any foam you have on hand. You'll see that I'm just going to cut this one down so that it fits into that main area of the cloche. And I want to make sure that I can actually put the top of it on. So I'm just going to trim away any excess here. And then I'm going to trim across the top of it just so I have a little bit more of a flat spot to style on. I'm really going for a very tiny little spring scene. I want to keep it very calm, very minimal, These are the kind of pieces that I like to tuck into shelves or on a side table for just a subtle seasonal touch. But because everything is so miniature and minimal, it really just invites people to come and have a look and see what's inside. So now that my floral foam is glued down and it's cut to size, I'm going to be adding some moss all around it in just a thin layer. I'm not getting too worried about it because I'm going to go back later after I style everything on top of it and just fill in any gaps. But for right now, I'm just covering as much as I can with a light layer of the moss. Now that I have my base, I'm going to be adding some height with these two tulips. So I'm pressing one of them down a little further and leaving one of them up a little bit higher, just so I have a nice variation in height. Then I added this small nest with 3 little eggs, just something that feels very simple and spring inspired. I always like to include one focal piece, so I added this little bunny. I think it's so cute. He looks like he's sitting here just guarding the Easter eggs. And then I snapped off a few pieces of lavender so I could tuck them in and give that nice little pop of purple, along with some of the leaves that fell off once I cut them. And then I'm tucking in little sprigs of baby's breath just to complete the look and add a little bit more depth to the vignette. I feel like this is just enough. So now I'm just going to go back in and just fill in any of those holes that I left with moss so that I can get it ready to replace the glass cover. For this one, I wanted to create a little spring vignette using a tray. I always think of trays as such an easy way to make things feel styled without a whole lot of effort. And I had a lot of luck in the Target dollar section with that bunny jar, this set of green glass taper candle holders, and these also from the dollar section. As you'll see, I'm going to be using the remaining 3 bunnies. I'm going to be using a few more of those tulips, a few more of those eggs in different sizes. And then I found these really cute gingham carrots that I picked up at Hobby Lobby. I have this little pedestal vase. I linked a similar one for you. And then I'm using a little bit more of that floral foam, the lavender sprigs, and I have my clippers and my glue gun. To start, I added in the other half of that floral foam, which actually fit perfectly right inside this little pedestal bowl. And I think I want to just stick the carrots in them and make them look like they're sort of growing in the dirt and popping out. I'm adding in my nest here on the right, and then I'm just pressing those carrots one by one into the foam so that they're secure enough, but not too deep so that you can just still see that effect of the height that I'm going for here. I love mixing in something unexpected, like these carrots coming out of the moss. It just adds a little bit of personality. It's time to add in one of the bunnies. So I grabbed the one that looks like he's just sort of hunched over a little bit, and I'm gluing him down right next to that nest. And once I have him secure, I'm grabbing one of those larger eggs and just placing it right inside the nest here. The key for me is just keeping everything in a similar color palette so that everything still feels cohesive. So that's what I'm doing here with these eggs. I'm mixing in the 2 different sizes of the eggs that I had left over from the other crafts, and I'm just placing them in this bunny jar. I think this bunny jar is just such a score. Target dollar spot for the win, and I'll probably use it for the next few weeks for all sorts of different things. For right now, I bunched up my 3 tulips and I snipped off some more lavender, and I'm just tucking these in here to make a pretty little spring bouquet, just something really simple and elegant and easy to do. Once I have these mixed in, I'm taking a twist tie and I'm just fastening everything together. And then I'm grabbing a really small sheet of parchment paper. I wanted this to kind of have like a farmer's market feel when you go and you pick up just a nice little bouquet from the farmer's market. So I'm placing this on the diagonal and I'm just folding over one side and then rolling it over so that it looks like just a really pretty spring bouquet that you picked. I snipped off a little piece of jute string so that I can tie it around it and fasten it in just a very simple bow. So when it came to styling, I tried it first on this round scalloped tray. I really liked this tray and I really wanted it to work, but I realized after I got all my pieces in that it just felt a little tight for me, and it also just kind of felt like something was missing in the center, but I didn't want to block the eggs. So I changed course and I went for this rectangular woven tray. I like this idea because it allows me to sort of spread everything out just a little bit more so that you can see all of the adorable little details in this vignette. I realized that I wanted to raise those candle holders up just a little bit. So I grabbed this small wooden riser and I'm placing it right in the center. And part of the reason why I'm doing this is because I also have those other two little bunnies and I wanted to create some height variation with them. So I started by placing them right on top, but they got lost a little bit on top of the wood. I felt like I needed some contrast. So I grabbed this little tea light stone candle holder, and instead of using a candle, I just added a little patch of moss and placed the bunny right on top. And then I added this smaller patch of moss to the left and placed him on the bottom. That gave the three different heights that I was going for. I hope this video gave you lots of inspiration for recreating those simple spring touches in your home. I know I always love to find those small, easy ways to make things feel fresh and seasonal in my home without having to completely redecorate. So I hope that you found inspiration for that within this video. So which DIY was your favorite? Let me know down below in the comments. And if you did enjoy this video, I'd love it if you'd give it a big thumbs up, because that's a free way to support my channel and I really appreciate it. And if you liked it, don't forget to subscribe so that you never miss a video that I have coming up. I would love to know if you decorate for Easter and if you would like to see an Easter decorate video. I know that we are coming up close to Easter, but if that's something that you would like to see, I'm happy to do one for you. I don't do a whole lot for Easter here, but I do like to add those really warm organic touches. So if that's something that you'd find inspirational, let me know in the comments down below. As always, thank you so much for being here and for spending some time with me here today on YouTube. I so appreciate it, and I will see you next time. Take care.